and a major city yet to be determined in Russia.
Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Travis Wingetzel. The chemical pollution was up to 22, so I took the risk and went running because I missed yesterday because it was up to 30 yesterday. So even though there was some breathing problems, I still needed to run. As an LDS critic, the straw that broke the camel's back for me was not my Bishop Reed Hammond, who extorted me to take down my publication of the brand new book I had just published on lesson number 4 for the Sunday school lessons for the LDS Church on the fall of Adam, as I promoted the Book of Mormon for the doctrine of the church. You know, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of the Mormon religion, and so therefore it is the keystone of the doctrine of the Mormon church. And so I did nothing wrong, and yet stake president would step in to put the bishop in line and tell him to apologize and take me back. Stop extorting my attendance at church. It wasn't even the church who I learned were responsible for locking me up for 6 years of my life, utterly destroying me, taking away my families, etc. Not even that. What flipped the switch for me was when I did LDS church history research, which was at the same time period that I was beginning, well, when the Bishop Hammond extorted my attendance. I was already studying Carthage jail and needed to go back to the beginning. It was learning that Brigham Young was a murderer. Not that he was a sex slave trafficker, kidnapping women and leading them to the desert to be sex slaves. Not just with polygamy, also with his brothel. It's murder to get gain. You lose me on that. That's not tolerable. The others are unacceptable too, but I couldn't excuse anything from the church anymore. They lost me, finding out that Brigham Young was a murderer. And not just of Joseph Smith, of the saints who were poor, of the Indians. See, the church lies when they tell you that they were fleeing religious persecution. They murdered the religious leader. That's not fleeing religious persecution. They purposely caused the war, getting Joseph Smith in trouble, then had him murdered, and then fled the country. That's unacceptable. But that now explains everything. Why they have no revelation powers, why they can't translate a single ancient document as they had multiple opportunities to show the world that they had the key of translation, and they just failed miserably. And instead of acknowledging that they're just trying to do the best they can with the death of Joseph Smith, nope, they had to cover it all up and claim that they were the true successors so that people would be subjected to them. And that's unacceptable. That's the fruit of being murderers. They lied about Joseph Smith. The church claims that Joseph Smith was polygamist, that it was him, not Brigham. Brigham wasn't the one who made it public, who practiced it in secret to ensure that his band of secret combinationers, the LDS church has a name for them, Combers, something like that, an abbreviated form of it. There's been a few that have reached out to me. And so here we are again. We have a viral pandemic across the whole world. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who go around as missionaries. Hey, we got Jesus Christ on our name badges. It's the center of our religion. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. And we're murdering people to get gain. I don't know how well that video of mine is doing. I guess we can find out. But it's unacceptable. They are the enemy of America. They are not just betraying America, they are actively murdering. They are overturning America, destroying the Constitution by murdering us, guys. Do you not understand this? Gasping for air, huh? Well, 37 for the stunning 9-year-old. Good for you guys. Thanks for watching. Have to take down some notes. So far behind. Alright, let's see what we got here. This may not represent an accurate 26. That's horrible, guys. Russell M. Nelson murders Mormons to get gain, and only 26 views. What does it take? I mean, Russell M. Nelson fell 6 October 2022, 95. 77 for true Mormonism. Joseph Smith was Jesus Christ. And then LDS Armageddon fulfilled 8 October 2022. 96 views. 129 Russell M. Nelson, false prophet for LDS Mormon Church. And then sin of LDS Mormon Utah Sodom, 73. That was a little slow in going. 7th trumpet, that's today. That is today. The shofar horn of the moon is in the hand of Osiris, which he has a club in his hand normally, as Orion. And then 141 for LDS Mormon prophet ends conference with a death threat. I just, unbelievable. And I obviously couldn't put the death threat quote in there in that video. It didn't get put in until I think it was the Russell M. Nelson false prophet 2 days later. That's when I first put the clip in, I think. It could be on the fall. Why are those one day? Oh, yeah, never mind. And so, yeah, I tried to emphasize that Nelson failed miserably in that talk about Israel by repeating it 4 times, because one of them is not that. Yeah, the LDS Church President fails Hebrew with word Israel is different than wait a minute, no, Russell M. Nelson fell and fell hard, one in between. That's the different one. The ones that are all 16.08 seconds, minutes. That's the different one. The Horrors Being Born and Raised Mormon only has 51, but the thumbnail group of sister missionaries gathered for a mission photo. Don't think you guys understand it the way I understand it. There have been too many returned missionaries who are now ordered to get married immediately, who see a little cutie Mormon wanting to marry them and reading, pondering, and praying, and being told that she's the one to marry, only to have the little cutie Mormon decide that she wants to go on a mission instead of getting married to you. Oh, man. So, yeah. Interesting. LDS Church redoing President Oak's white supremacy is more than his original one where I commented on his talk where he brought it up. Oh, he pissed me off. He pisses me off in all of his talks. He just infuriates me. He definitely triggers. But he's in the position of power. Shame on him. Alright. So yeah, today's the day. I mean, there was stuff that happened yesterday, but no, this is the sign of the fall. It has to fall. That's the prophecy, guys. The church must fall. Babylon, fall. Great Abominable Church, fall. That's the prophecy. They have to fall. We've got all the signs indicating a fall is coming. And it's not something that we can just say, oh, 10 years later, oh, it finally fell. Wow, I guess that sign 10 years ago was true. No, that's too late. It doesn't correspond within the time frame. And so that's why I'm sure this is it. But I don't know because it hasn't happened. That's the frustrating thing, is waiting for things to happen. They're still keeping it as the front page of their website. President Nelson, let God prevail. No, guys, no. It says right in the scripture. That's why they wrote it the way they wrote it. The Prince of God. That's what Israel means. He was chosen to have his posterity be the line from which the Prince of God would come through. That's what it means. He was the usurper, and then, boom, he gets to be the lineage. And it's not a good thing. He's the bad guy. He stole the lineage. And so God said, fine, but you're not going to like it. It's in the news release. President Nelson at General Conference, let God prevail. They keep pushing it on you. They're purposely deceiving you on this. See, the Mormon God is Lucifer. And so what is he saying? Let Lucifer prevail. That's what he's pushing on you. This is horrifying. And so nothing new has changed for the news. Nothing. The last were the 6th. So, I mean, the temples, just horrifying. They're supposed to only announce them. I remember it was Hinckley. I'm pretty sure. Because Monson didn't take over until 2008. And so I'm pretty sure it was Hinckley who said that they can only build new temples according to the growth of the church, because it requires money to pay for the temples, and they were being fiscally conservative to make sure that the membership of the area is sufficient to warrant the building of a temple. And it requires around 30,000 elders who are full tithe payers to justify the building of a temple. And yet under Monson, we were starting to witness temples being built in places that the membership stats were saying, oh, wait a minute, there's not enough members in that area to justify this. And it's not because of the conversion of money, but I mean, Russia, for example, the announcement of the temple in Russia, only 23,000 for all of Russia. And yet, oh, we're going to build a temple in Russia. Yay. And so, yes, there are some problems with what they were doing. And what we see is that they're screwing the fiscal conservativeness. They have made so much money now that they're purposely trying to obtain property around the world. They're buying up the world. That's what the temples are now doing, is that they now own the land that they build a temple on. Except in China. but that's what they're doing. They're sneaking around the world to buy up the world, to take it over. And it's horrifying, because people are required to pay to be a member of the church, and pay big. And thus the poor are not helped in their poverty because of this, because they don't give enough to the church. It's just horrifying. You know, maybe I can understand because it went late at night and people probably went to bed right after the thing. Maybe. But, guys, I mean, come on. So, yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen today. But I know that the church has to fall. It will not be my lawsuit. Trump already has said he will not allow an election. He's already said it. And thus he will make it happen. Trump keeps his promises. That's what we know of Trump. Of all the lies he tells, he keeps his promises. And that should scare everybody. Because we don't get a vote as we're dying. As we want refuge and safety and peace. And Trump is purposely destroying this nation. But is he cured? He said he was cured yesterday. I haven't seen the video yet. I just heard the reporting from Rachel Maddow in the pregame show. But I told you, pay attention. If he dies, and he was purposely trying to throw it out there right before the debate, which, yeah, I can see Trump doing that, so that Pence has a boost. Oh, I've cured coronavirus. There you go, Pence. Take it from there. He didn't take it from there. He didn't use that to his advantage. But he instead revealed himself as a horrible human being, a sexist, a racist, a bigot, a hater of humankind. Just lied. So yes, he loves the policies of Trump. He just doesn't act like Trump. That's the difference between old conservative and the new Trump. And so if Trump dies, yeah, it will throw the nation into chaos, maybe. Pence will be a horrible human being too, but he won't have the spine to be as brazen as Trump was. That's why they put Trump in, is because they knew Trump would do what the rest of them couldn't do and get away with. But I worry about an attack. Rachel specifically was questioning, with Trump sick, are we vulnerable to our enemies from attack? And then the next day, oh, yay, our Joint Chiefs are all down. They're in quarantine. They're out of commission. Yay. Oh, great, we're vulnerable to physical attack. Way to go, Trump. So, yeah, he is destroying us, literally, making us weak for attack. But will that be it? I mean, it's the church that's supposed to be destroyed right now. Not the nation, the church. That's the sign, it's the moon, it's religion. Not the sun yet. That one's still got time for the government, even though it technically has already collapsed, and the Mormons have failed to save the nation. I throw in the clip every now and then, when appropriate, of Benson. The Constitution will be saved, but not in Washington. He knew about it because the church is in on it. They are Q. Which, yeah, Facebook is banning Q for good for you. But what they are talking about, space aliens, Satanist pedophiles, that's the church. And they're neglecting the poor, and they're murdering to get gain. I mean, this is a worst case scenario nightmare. And so I don't know what time, if it's going to be today. I don't know if it's in the evening. Will I have time to watch Rachel Maddow? There's still a lot of things I haven't finished. There are books that had to be packed that I didn't get to scan into a PDF form to have them digitized. The DVDs you see, that's for the purpose of digitizing them. There are still some DVDs, TV shows, movies, that I still wanted to get and have digitized for my collection in Armageddon. And I just didn't get to them. Didn't have enough money to buy them as quickly as I wanted to. And so, yeah, in that regard, there's stuff that I'm lacking. I didn't get to finish the full translation of the Bible. Yes, I know exactly how to do it from the Egyptian documents. Didn't get to finish. There have been too many people trying to keep me from doing it, and have succeeded and have won, sort of. I have put out the translation of Genesis to Noah, showing how it is done, but it's not filling in the missing pieces of that. It's not doing an actual translation from the Egyptian documents of what it was supposed to be. But I did show how the Bible came from the Egyptian petroglyphs. So anybody can take it and go with it from there if they do their Egyptological studies of the stories of Egypt and figure out how to decipher the Egyptian petroglyphs as a result. Those are the one thing, the one group of characters that are not included in the sign list. I don't know why they didn't. They knew they were signs, they knew that they could be translated, but I guess they didn't assume the connection, so they didn't test it to pursue it. They just did the text characters because the Rosetta Stone was text. So yeah, I walked right into it, and I'm the guy. But I don't know. I could say that if it is a natural disaster, if it is an actual attack that forces us to flee, is anybody listening to say meet at Denver, Colorado? At the freeway, as you enter into Denver, Colorado, there's an Amazon center right there at the off-ramp. Meet at that location, because yes, we're going to strip Amazon of their supplies. This is the end of the world. We can do that. We're going to loot. As President or Vice President Pence is all concerned about looters and there wouldn't be looters if there weren't protesters, and there wouldn't be protesters if there weren't police violating human rights. It's that simple. And there wouldn't be police violating human rights if our government, the justice system, would protect and serve the people. That's supposed to be the police's job. Nope, they failed. They don't care about us. So screw them. Little whiny babies. Oh, you hurt our property because we were trying to kill you. How dare you? Murder to get gain. So yeah, I hope nothing happens so that I can keep collecting DVDs and getting things set in order, but I know that I'm not going to get everything. But will it happen today? How will it happen today? I have no clue. All I know is I saw the sign and it opened up my mind. Whatever. Another guy commented, Dave, I think, was the one who put the extra lyrics in there for me. I brought it up before. But yeah, right up there. Sirius is due south. When the sun rises, that means Sirius won. That's today. As the sun rises, Sirius is there. He wins. He passes the finish line. Venus, boom, failed. Just as Isaiah says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning." That's what he's referring to. The last day's battle. Lucifer fails and is fallen. So that's today. So will it be tomorrow? The Friday night news dump. So I don't know. I mean, maybe rioting happened in Utah last night and I didn't know about it. I didn't even think to check that. I'll check that and then I'll end this video. Da, 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 da. See, the police were all set to kill the protesters. George Lucas introduces a battle droid to Steven Spielberg for the first time. Rob Wainfer. Oh, okay, then never mind. Gasping for air, can't face the truth. See, was Trump just putting on a show as pretending to gasp for air? Trump is a showman. He knows how to do this. And then he came out yesterday with the "I'm cured." So let's see, we need, not these. So cured. Let's see, Fox might be more, Fox 13 News, ABC 4 News Utah has been failing lately. Yeah, bad air quality, yeah, no duh. Oh, they got the guy pleading guilty to deny himself a trial to be found guilty. So his life is over now. I hope you actually did it, rather than not wanting to spend your life in jail while they purposely hesitate the trial. Does he even speak English? Did they have to get an interpreter, and did they manipulate him into signing away his rights? If you don't believe that would happen, oh, I know it does happen. I witnessed it firsthand. Protest rallies, demonstrations held outside VP debate. I'm seeing police marshaled in their riot gear, but I'm only seeing the masked guy, but then the woman is not. Let's find out what's going on.
Yeah, Kelly and Bob, lots of people showed up here. Pretty much everyone's dispersed tonight. You can kind of see behind me just that last little bit of cleanup. They're kind of removing the cement barriers. Right now, the crew's out here. You know, the people who came here this afternoon, everybody was civil. They were having even great discussion in between the sides.
Yeah,
but then things started to change as the evening went on. Hours ahead of the debate, groups gathered with excitement.
It's cool to see. You know, you get hyped up in it.
Where's your mask?
Your adrenaline gets going.
Some from Salt Lake, others traveled here just to experience it.
Well, I flew out from Oakland and got in this morning just to be here. This is incredible. So whoever is here, whoever wins, this is an incredible thing for a lot of people.
An incredible thing, as voices from many different causes and communities showed up, from raising awareness of and taking a stand against Armenian genocide.
The future Vice President of the United States of America is in there. You know, they have a lot of impact. I mean, short of reaching the future President of the United States, this is the most we can do.
To sharing viewpoints against abortion.
This is an important issue for this election. If we don't stop abortion, then a country that kills its own young won't survive.
And of course, supporting the VP candidate set to debate.
Never mind the way in which she was impregnated, like rape.
And showing the other side what they are about.
Very important to us, as Trump supporters come by, that we make sure that we're peaceful and kind. That's the number one goal that we have.
If people think that Trump supporters are just attacking people and we're all racist and we don't want to talk to anybody or anything like that, I hope they understand that that's not who we are.
Everyone awaited the big moment. The motorcade arrivals. First Kamala Harris and her team, then Pence waving from the back of an SUV. As the evening progressed, the debate getting underway, a protest and march against police brutality grew, prompting a police response. Tension that continued through the night. At one point, officers made an arrest, a clash that took the stage outside of the debate. Now, aside from that one arrest that we saw, we're not able to confirm with police tonight if they arrested anybody else, but for now, everybody has dispersed and gone home, and the evening is now peaceful out here. Live in Salt.
That's, should I summarize it real quick as possible without having written it out? Conservatives say they're pro-life, but they don't give a damn about the life of the woman. When a woman is impregnated by violating her rights to life, liberty, and property, her life, liberty, and property are taken from her, destroyed forever. Her womb can never go back to normal. That's it, that's all. If pro-lifers insist on that baby being born, regardless of how it happened, God damn you all to hell. Because you don't have pro-life for the mother, the victim who was raped. It's that simple. And so I know your fears. You think pro-choice means, oh, I'm just going to have free sex, and if I get pregnant, I'm just going to kill the baby. I know that's what you're afraid of because of the free love back in the 70s. You're afraid that other people are getting to have sex when you aren't. You're stuck with a woman who won't give it up to you, who thinks that your sexual desire is an evil. I understand. I know. I was tortured in my first marriage. But that's no reason to take it out on others. The sexually transmitted diseases, yeah, I wonder who's responsible for that, Christians. So that's my stand on pro-life versus pro-choice. Don't think of the consequences. Go back to the origin. How did it happen? Was there a violation of the woman? If there was, yeah, the baby should not be allowed. If the woman chooses to keep it, okay, but that's a little creepy that you want to keep a memento of your rape. So, I mean, these are pro-choicers are not in a traditional marriage who are having babies and then saying, oh, now we're sacrificing and drinking the blood of the baby. No. What the hell is wrong with you? That is a crime in and of itself. So punish that crime. Don't punish victims. But no, they're set in stone. Nope, you're killing a baby. That's a life. And so we're going to destroy your life in order to save the baby. It's that simple. It's beyond hypocrisy. It's inhumanity. Inhumane. That's their abuse. And so, yes, Trumpists, despite that guy, which I think he needs to study up on Trumpism. I don't think he quite knows. Trump's murdering you, and you're not drinking bleach as you ought to. Trump's cured. God.